right, so there's the quick overview of the chapter, and let's just go through them one at a time now. So the first one, physical or biological anthropology. First, the book talks about biological evolution, and as you can tell, this is not coming from a theistic or a young Earth creationist background, but the authors of this book believe in Darwinian evolution. They believe that we all came from a single-celled organism, and over time, all the species in the world came from that single cell. Humanity, coming in this kind of like tree of life, we go off on this like primate branch, and then there's a split between the primates and humanity, and our branch is called Homo, right? And Homo, of course, means same. So those are the species or proto-human species that we see as the same as us or leading to us. And this is part of why we have groups like primatologists and things like that, because they believe if we came from, or there was a split and this is a similar early ancestor or offshoot of early humans, it might give us insight into human behavior and why we act the way we do. It's also going to talk about, like I mentioned earlier, the physical differences between populations. And this could be body types. If you notice people that live near the equator, normally they are like leaner than people that live closer to the poles in the more extreme temperatures. For example, if you see someone like from Vietnam or Southeast Asia, they usually have a thin build, medium complexion, usually dark hair, dark eyes, etc. As you get closer to the poles, if you like look at the Inuit, they are more squat, more body fat content. They actually have more veins in their hands than other people group. It's like an adaptation so they don't get frostbite in their extremities. I mean, if you took someone from the jungles of Southeast Asia and put them in the Arctic, they would freeze in very short order, right? But if you took an Inuit and put them in the heat near the equator, it would be virtually unbearable for someone of that body type or build. And so we do see this adaptation taking place within human beings as they are in different parts of the globe. Another part would be paleoanthropologists. And paleoanthropologists study human biological evolution. When I took the physical anthropology in college, we didn't even talk about human beings until after the midterm. The whole first half of the class was about everything from afarensis, which many people believe is where the split began, although I think there's a new one out, Rudolfensis? Anyways, it doesn't matter. After that split, we started with like Homo habilis to Homo erectus, then we got into different types of splits all the way up into Neanderthals and then Cro-Magnons, and so modern humans are called Homo sapiens. And some people are even advocating for a new category called Homo sapiens sapiens. So who knows, maybe some of you in the room are that next little twiglet coming off the branch of humanity of Homo sapiens sapiens. I think they have bigger, like bulbous heads for their enlarged brains and long fingers with like little pads at the ends, almost like space aliens, but I'm not sure. So paleoanthropologists, they're trying to look at these pre or proto-human fossils. Primatologists, these are people that specialize in the study of primates, and like I said already, it makes sense if you believe we came from or diverged from species of great apes, that there might be value in studying them to learn things about ourselves. Human variation, the study of the varieties we see which in the context of humans themselves. And once again, I thought that was incredibly fascinating, and coupled with a study of genetics, you can see what are dominant and recessive traits. For example, dark eyes, brown eyes, that's a dominant trait. So if you had a brown-eyed parent and a blue-eyed or light-eyed parent, I believe there's like a 75% chance that your offspring will be born with dark eyes, only a 25% they'll be born with light eyes. And then you can keep plotting that through generations where you could actually predict or get an idea of the odds of the outcome of your children looking a certain way. But there's always like these rogue buried genetic markers too, where you could get a surprise like out of the genetic woodpile and be like, wow, where did that redhead, blue-eyed baby come from? And it may have been part of your genetic markers on one of the sides of your families coming through. And then finally in this section we have what's called forensic anthropology. And this is where you gather information to determine things like age, type of death. When I was your age, there was a TV show called Quincy, where he was like a coroner, and he would try to solve crimes by using his skills as an anthropologist. And I remember one episode, someone found a skull in the desert, and they were able to take averages of humans, like how much skin is over your cheekbone, over your jawbone, the cartilage on your nose, and they were able to reconstruct with clay over this skull, and were able to actually get an image where they were able to ID a missing person who had died. And that's something like a physical anthropologist would do. I think there's a lot of shows like that now. What is it, like NCIS or something like that, where you have these forensic anthropologists using anthropology to try to solve crimes, find out causes of disease, etc.